Hi guys, this is The Advisor and welcome back to my channel. Now, there are going to be some changes, first of all, to how I run this channel, The Advisor. Originally, The Advisor channel was meant for relationships and lifestyle coaching and just normal human interactivity and so on. But so far it has dealt with a whole pile of issues. Well, I actually did not want to use this channel for anything else except, just lifestyle development, personality development, and relationships and so on, human interaction. But eventually everything went over there because I find it more popular. It had gotten more popular than the other channel, which I had built specifically for that. Now, that other channel is called Xavier, Xavier, and Xavier is an acronym for Experience a Very Intense Educational Reawakening. And that is where is meant for 50% of the stuff that I place here in The Advisor are actually meant for the other channel. So I'm going to put a link. I'm going to start separating it. Eventually, when you come here, you're only going to find things about relationships and human interaction and how to develop life-changing skills and so on, so on. And the other channel I'll keep for serious things as intended, like national and international issues to do with crime, wars, hunger, politics, religion, and so on. Serious, intellectually stimulating things will go on over in Experience a Very Intense Educational Reawakening, and this one will remain for people who just want the normal little, not really gossip type things, but just nothing too very deep, right? So there'll be a channel for each individual because some people prefer the deep intellectual thinking, and there are others which just want the normal human interaction, the dare pasta kind of thing. So I want you to check out the other side, and please, when you go over there, I'll have a link in the description. When you go over there, please subscribe to that channel. Just like how you subscribe here, just go over there and just give me a subscription so that channel can build too. All right? And thank you guys for building this channel. Now I move on to the topic. This topic is about transgenderism. Now, for those of you who don't quite understand what that is for women who think they are men and men who think they are women. But it's not that simple as thinking they are. In other words, they don't feel it's like I'm a man trapped in a woman's body or I'm a woman trapped in a man's body. You will have a person who, for all intents and purposes, because as far as I'm concerned, there are only two genders in the world. But you have some people now in the Western world, not in Africa, not in Asia, but in the Western world, white people, who think that you can be anything. If you are a man and you want to call yourself woman, you just call yourself woman, and everybody will just accept it. And they actually believe that they're a woman. Or the woman actually believes she's a man. That's just how the world is going now. Well, among Europeans and Americans and Canadians, they are the ones who are that confused. Anyway, because of all this, there has been many debates about it. And I have found two debates which settles this matter. Which has settled the matter clearly and profoundly. Now, I want you to listen to the first of the two debates. Not really debate. It's a question and answer session where this gentleman, his name is Matthew Walsh. They call him Matt Walsh. Now, Matthew Walsh is a public speaker, And he speaks on issues such as gender issues and all of that, and he tries his best to debunk it. And this is a case where Matthew Walsh is being questioned by a man who thinks he is a woman. And this is how it goes. Just take a listen, and I'll get back with you in a moment.
Hi, Matt. I'm transgender. I'm born and raised here in New Mexico. I have a graduate degree in information technology, marketing, business, and finance. I own my own home. I pay taxes. I have a 6-figure job. I'm a respected professional in Albuquerque. I'm a mother. My life experience is that I'm an awesome person. I am well-liked. I'm responsible, and I think I'm pretty cool. You touched on something. You said something earlier that for you, when somebody calls you a man, it doesn't faze you because, like, you just know that you're a man. That was interesting to me because I feel the same way about my identity as a woman. My question leading up to this, you've asserted that no one would ever see me as a woman, that nobody would ever see or could see a transgender person as a woman, and yet I have dozens of friends from diverse backgrounds, women from the reservation, a woman from Japan, several immigrant women. I have my coworkers, I have my boss, my VP, my CEO, all respecting me as a woman. My family, my long-term friends who are actually here with me. All of these people assure me, like, I'm a woman. They'll tell me, girl, like, there is no way you are a man. They see me as a woman. So the question,
okay,
how can you assert that nobody would ever see me as a woman when my material experience tells me you're wrong?
Okay. It's interesting that that's the part of my talk you chose to ask a question about, because that's not in my talk at all. I don't believe I said that no one would ever see you as a woman. I mean, it's possible, I suppose, that you could fool someone. Now, you brought this up, so I have to tell you that you brought this up. You've put your identity on the table for conversation. And so I'm going to say you wouldn't fool me at all. I mean, I see a man 100%. And I think that most people would. Now, the fact that you have people in your life who are saying to you, oh, you're totally a woman, it's exactly what I'm talking about. No one in my life has ever once said to me, you're totally a man, Matt. You know, if a friend of mine called me on the phone and said, listen, Matt, I want you to know you're really a man, I would think that there was something wrong with him. I would say, why are you saying that at all? It doesn't make any sense. So the fact that this is a conversation to begin with tells me, it only proves the point that I'm trying to make, that your identity, even in your own mind, is up for, it's something that you need to be assured of. Now, what I would like to ask you, again, because you're standing here, and so you've brought your identity on the table for discussion. So how do you know that you're a woman?
It was first when I heard transgender persons describe their experience in their own words, and this was only about 2 years ago. Hearing somebody describe things, it was a woman from like England, describing her experience, her childhood, her teenage years, and it blew my mind to be listening to her, because it was just some podcast that I was listening to while I was like doing laundry. But it blew my mind to hear somebody so eloquently and precisely describe things that I had experiences that I had experienced.
What did they say?
Okay, so I am honestly hesitant. I know that you touched earlier about the difficulty that transgender women might have in describing their identity, but I want to state, I honestly don't feel that you would engage in this conversation in good faith.
Then why are you here? Why did you stand up to talk to me if you don't want to have a conversation? You're saying that you discovered that you're a woman. I'm asking you how you did. That's a very fair question.
Okay.
How do you know that you're a woman?
That's fine. All right. So first of all, listening to transgender people, and it was like, okay, this is a one-off, one person describing these things. Things like looking at yourself in the mirror and not recognizing yourself. Hearing compliments like, you are such an example, like a positive masculine role model. And just hearing that and being like, it feels like they're talking about somebody else. It means feeling alone, even when you're surrounded by guys, even when you have a lot of friends. And I was active in like Boy Scouts. I'm an Eagle Scout. I had great masculine role models my whole life. And yet I never felt like I belonged. I felt welcome and included.
Why does that make you a woman?
Because
as opposed to just a man who doesn't get along with some other men, or a man who's depressed, or a man who doesn't feel at home totally in his body, which, by the way, is a pretty universal human experience. Everybody goes through it at one time or another. So in what way does that make you a woman, though? And it's interesting. You're telling me that you listen to the experiences of other transgender people.
Well, yeah.
But what about women?
So
because trans women are women, you would say, right?
I would say that. Yeah.
Exactly the same?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then why do you need to hear the testimony of quote unquote trans women? Like how you pick any actual woman in this room? In what way do you know that you belong in the same category as them?
I know because they tell me. So here was
You need them to tell you what you are?
Women. Yes. I trust the opinions of the women around me.
And if most women...
It's incredible. You might try it sometime.
If most women voted and said they don't see you as a woman, would you say I'm not a woman anymore?
If who?
If most women voted and said they don't see you as a woman anymore, would you then relent and say I'm not a woman?
I would say most people on the planet have no idea who I am. I'm going to trust the opinions of the people who've spent their lives with me.
But you are relying on other people to tell you who you are, is what we're establishing.
For context, I know you like to say, everybody's rah-rahing and supporting transgender people, and yet they're still killing themselves, etc. But I'm standing here in a room full of people applauding you and asking questions like, how can I put out legislation here in New Mexico, my home state I grew up in, to try to reverse transgenderism? I'm not safe. And
How are you not safe? You just said you're standing in a room with people who disagree with you and you're perfectly fine. So how are you not safe? Okay, look, we're going round and round. You don't want to answer any of the questions. Maybe we'll end with this because we're talking about womanhood. So people can probably shout out the question I'm going to ask you right now.
Okay.
But you know that you're a woman.
Yes.
What is that?
So gender is a social thing. It only makes sense.
I don't want to hear that. What is a woman? What is a woman?
What is a woman?
The word woman, define in the dictionary. Go.
A woman is somebody who is included and respected and seen and participates in society, recognized by other women. If you speak with women...
Circular definition.
That's mine. Whatever.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Good.
Now that you have listened to that, you see the confusion that exists in that camp? You see how these people think? As far as I'm concerned, these people are not saying, I'm a male, but I have some women tendencies, and I have some, or rather, I have a gender identity crisis. They are not saying that. They are saying, I am a woman. The man is saying, I'm a woman. That's it. Accept me as a woman and I'm a woman. That's it. I am a woman. Straight up. It's not that I have a problem. I have a mental problem, which, of course, is a mental problem. It's just, I'm a straight up woman and that's it. Accept me for being a woman. Now, this other person, this is a man who is confused so badly that he swears, he would swear on his mother's life that he's a woman. Now, because this person is actually medically trained. I don't think the person is a doctor, but they have some training in the medical field and understand, obviously, medicine and chromosomes are male and female to some extent. So this person now tried to come to Matthew Walsh to try to see if he could use some medical facts now to stump Mr. Walsh. This is of course, another talk he was given. Now, I wanted to listen to this.
How would you define a woman? Because you've asked other people up here to define how we would define a woman. How would you define a woman, Mr. Walsh?
An adult human female.
And how don't trans people, how doesn't a transgender woman fit that definition?
Female.
Because they're not female. They have, you said that you are a biological male, correct?
I said I'm transgender. I might be intersex for all we know. About almost as many people in the world are transgender as intersex, and
Well-
a lot of people don't know.
Well, wait, but that's a different conversation. Intersex, that's a genetic anomaly, that's a medical condition. So that's a completely different conversation. That's also not a third gender. That's a genetic anomaly that occurs within the sex binary of male and female. What you're saying is that a quote unquote trans woman is a female.
By the definitions I'm familiar with, yes.
So how would you define female?
Through my training in healthcare, there are several different categories for how we define sex. People bring up chromosomes. People also bring up hormone levels. People bring up all sorts of other categories. Lots of people don't fit neatly into a gender binary, even people we don't consider to be intersex. It's a complicated spectrum.
It's not complicated, but you also didn't define. So what is a woman? What is a female? What do these words mean?
It's complicated, and I know you're not going to like that answer, but that's because there are no simple answers in human biology.
Let me ask you a question.
You guys,
Ask you
well,
one last
hang
question.
on. Just let me finish. You guys like to bring up high school level biology classes a lot. I get that a lot, but people who go on to more complicated biology classes will talk about sex as a spectrum.
It's not. It's not.
Well, biological researchers would disagree with you.
Well, then they're full of shit, the ones that would say that. There are male gametes and female gametes. Oh, I had one last question. I just have one. I had one quick. Can you come back for 1 second? Because this is an important question. You said you're an EMT.
Yes.
Okay, if you're responding to a health emergency. Biological male, somebody with a penis, is having a medical emergency, and they say to you, "I think I'm having a miscarriage." Would you check them to see if they're having a miscarriage? Would you consider that a possibility for them?
Look. No, but that's because some people don't have body parts. Doesn't mean they're not a woman.
Okay. Sounds like we've established there are some people who, in principle, can get pregnant, and there are some people who can't. So there's two categories, otherwise known as binary.
Lots of women can't get pregnant either.
Yeah, but they're still of the nature to get pregnant. The only
But
reason
they can't get pregnant.
Yes, but
truth matters, right?
It does. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Truth matters, and they can't get pregnant. That's the truth. So how are they still women?
Because they are for the same reason that I can rightly say that human beings have two legs. And if a person is born with only one leg, that doesn't call into question the statement that human beings have two legs, okay? A person being born with one leg doesn't mean that now legs are on a spectrum, and we can't say anything at all about how many legs a person has. Who knows? They could be a centipede. You know, they could have 100 legs. No, we know human beings have two legs if a human is born without 2 legs, something went wrong. They were supposed to have that second leg. Something went wrong. If you meet a person on the street who only has 1 leg, maybe they had an accident. Maybe they were in war. Maybe something, maybe they were in a car accident. Maybe they had cancer. A leg was cut off. But you know that something went wrong because by their nature, they're supposed to have 2 legs. Same thing for a woman. A woman by her nature can get pregnant. A man by his nature never can. So if you meet a woman of childbearing age, say she's 28 years old, and she can't get pregnant, you know automatically that something has gone wrong. And she can go to the doctor and find out what that thing is, even if they can't fix it. So that proves that women by their nature can get pregnant, because the simple fact that she can't shows you that there's something wrong. This is what is known as the exception that proves the rule. Whereas if a male with a penis can't get pregnant, no doctor on earth is going to run tests to see what's wrong with it, because they already know it's that he's a male, and there's only male and female, those who can get pregnant and those who can't. So that's it.
Now, I want to see, after he put down that mic, I mean, we can all go home. The matter is closed. This matter is closed. I don't think there is anything to come back from this. All these people need to do, book themselves into some kind of psychiatrist ward, because go plat some baskets or do something, get out some coloring books, do something, because all you have to face the fact is that you're a male with some psychological issues. That's all you are. You are not female. And, there is one point to make here. You guys notice that there is no woman. You notice that women who think they are men are never become activists, really. Women who think they are men, they just dress like men and they get on with their lives. But men who think they are women, it's like they have to take out the talkativeness and the bad attitude and everything that most women do not even have. They are combative, extremely combative. So, I don't know, because I don't see women who think they're men. All they do, they find a woman and they get their thing on and they try to blend in with society, but they never hold up placards. They rarely. It is always the men who think they are women, who think they have to pretend to be more woman than a real woman, who comes up and flying all these banners and being confrontational. So, what does that tell you? Anyway, guys, this is just to clear this matter up. You have not been educated. A man is just a man. There are only 2 genders, man and woman. And if you're a man who think you're a woman, all you is a confused man. A woman who thinks she's a man, you're just a confused woman. End of story. Guys, like, share, leave a comment below. And please subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. And as I said, please go over to my other channel called Xavier. The link is below. And subscribe over there too. Looking forward to see you in my next video.